Welcome to Mindfulness by Arian Colton. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come and be exposed to new information that will ultimately help enrich not only your students' lives, but your lives. So let's get started. To begin with, I think it's important to talk about what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to spend the first part of this discussion defining terms that might be new to you, or terms that you maybe have heard before and didn't quite know, or this might just be a refresher for you. Whatever it is, hopefully meets your needs at whatever place you are today. The second thing we're going to do is talk about mindfulness minutes. That can take the shape of many different things. Next, we're going to talk about journaling and how that can enrich your mindfulness experience. But before we get started today, I want to encourage you to, as you get settled in your seat, to really become just fully present in this space today. To let whatever else happened to you before you walked in here, let it go. It'll be there when we're done. Also, let whatever else lies ahead of you when you walk out these doors just be waiting for you. It's not going anywhere. Take this time to just clear your mind, be present in this space with the people sitting near you, across the room from you, with me standing here in front of you. Take this opportunity to just be here. Like I said before, my name is Arian Colton. I have taken a number of different classes on mindfulness. I've adopted mindfulness in my own life and have begun to integrate it in my classroom. I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a mom of 4, I'm recently divorced. My life is busy from the moment I wake up to the moment I put my head on the pillow at night. It is full, it is rich, and it is happy, but it is stressful, and it is probably very similar to all the rest of yours. With all of that going on, it's important to take the time to reset, be grateful, focus on you, and just breathe. Mindfulness is a powerful tool that supports children in calming themselves, focusing their attention, and interacting effectively with others, all critical skills for functioning well in school and in life. Now, of course, we're going to focus on how mindfulness can impact your students, but underscoring all of this, if it's able to impact your students in all of these wonderful ways, please never forget that it can also impact you in all of these wonderful ways too. If you are calm and you are focused, you are setting the table for your students to be able to be calm and focused and present, and then they can be more successful in the classroom. That's what we're talking about today. So let's get started. Let's just define some terms so that we all are working with the same vocabulary. First of all, mindfulness. It's very simple. Mindfulness is a mental state wherein one actively focuses awareness of the here and now while accepting emotions, ideas, and sensations. So, like I said when we first started, just be present, be here. I welcome you to be here in this space and only this space. So that is part of it. Keep your mind focused on the right now. The second part of it is to then, once you are focusing on the now, start to think about and focus on what you are feeling, what you are thinking, what you are sensing, using all 5 senses, and doing so with no judgment. That's probably the hardest part of all of it. Notice that you're feeling anxious and don't judge yourself for that feeling. Just notice it. And by noticing it and letting yourself feel it, just like a wave, it'll just sort of wave over you and it'll go. So mindfulness is sort of threefold. It's being present, it's acknowledging your emotions, ideas, and sensations, and it's also acknowledging it without the judgment. Another topic that's very similar and related to mindfulness and is a topic that's often discussed in schools today is social emotional learning, SEL. This is the process through which children and adults acquire and effectively apply the knowledge, attitudes, and skills necessary to understand and manage emotions, set and achieve positive goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. So there's definitely an overlap in the two concepts. And the way they work is that mindfulness starts within. It's acknowledging the within and letting that then come out. Versus SEL, which is taking tools that are external and applying them internally, so the outside in. So there's a lot of the same concepts and ideas present in both. It's just where we originate. Mindfulness originates within and exudes out. SEL originates externally and is applied internally. There are essentially 5 steps of mindfulness. The first step is mindful breathing. The next step is concentration. Then we have awareness of body. 4th step is releasing tension. And the 5th is walking meditation. All of these have the goal of being present in the space you're in and acknowledging your thoughts and emotions and sensations. The benefits of mindfulness are categorized in 3 different categories. First, we have affective benefits, Then there are interpersonal benefits. And finally, there are intrapersonal benefits. The first is affective benefits. The affective benefits of mindfulness are emotional regulation, decreased reactivity, and increased response flexibility. So if one is able to identify their emotions through this mindfulness process and understand what they're feeling and not judging themselves for those emotions, they can then, like I said before, think of it as like a wave. They can let that wave of emotions just kind of acknowledge and pass by instead of reacting to it. So the decreased reactivity is then the next step. When you're feeling angry, and if there's an external stimulus that you encounter while you're feeling angry, you might be more apt to be reactive to that external stimulus. Whereas if you are practicing mindfulness and really trying to incorporate that into your life, you might be able to better acknowledge that feeling of anger, take a breath, let it wave through you, and hopefully then decrease the possibility of reacting to an external stimulus. The final step is then this increased response flexibility, so that, again, if you are able to acknowledge your emotion and you're not reacting to those external stimulus, then you might be able to control your responses to the world around you better. You may be more flexible, more nimble in your responses to the world around you. Another benefit of mindfulness is interpersonal benefits. So that has to do with relationship building, decrease in relational conflict, and building awareness in social situations. So again, with that heightened sense of of an internal, what's happening internally. If you are understanding the way you're feeling and acknowledging it and not judging yourself, you're freeing yourself up to be able to build stronger relationships with others. And in building strong relationships with others, you are more apt to have less conflict. Again, you're acknowledging those emotions, you're understanding what you're feeling, you're being present, and you're not being reactive. So that's going to decrease potential conflict in relationships. And finally is building awareness in social situations. Being in control or acknowledging your emotions, not necessarily in control of them, but acknowledging what they are and letting yourself feeling them and not being judgmental of those. You are then able to be more aware of not only yourself, but then the world around you. Intrapersonal benefits have to do with some self-insight, increased morality, intuition, and just overall well-being. The benefits of mindfulness are listed in what we just talked about, and there are so many more. Now let's look specifically at how it benefits children in the classroom. Mindfulness for young people is easy to carry out, fits into a wide range of contexts, and is enjoyed both by students and teachers and doesn't do any harm. So meaning mindfulness can be adapted to any class, any curriculum. A well-constructed mindfulness intervention can improve mental, emotional, and physical health and well-being of young people. It reduces stress, anxiety, reactivity, and potentially bad or disruptive behavior. Mindfulness can also contribute directly to the development of cognitive and performance skills and executive functions. Pay greater attention and be more focused, think in more innovative ways, and enhance planning, problem solving, and reasoning skills. Adolescents who are mindful tend to experience greater well-being, experience more positive emotions, greater popularity, and having more friends. Aren't all these things what we want for our students? And really, aren't all these things what we want for ourselves too? With a little bit of commitment and a plan, these are things that we can offer to enrich our students' lives and to enrich our own lives. What's great about mindfulness is that not only can you have an overall plan for a large group, it can also be more based in more of an intervention and an individualized routine. So particular students might need a particular routine, just like you would meet students' needs in the classroom. Educationally, you can individualize your mindfulness routines to meet students' needs at this internal emotional state. They're useful in promoting better mental health and coping strategies and settings for schools, in regular classrooms, and in special education classrooms. The research is pretty new still, and there's going to be more to come in the coming years. But the concept of being able to individualize a routine once you've kind of got your general routine for your whole class is a very exciting one.